At this November 22nd, 2014, I'm here at my address still under a very criterious tiredness, like I was saying. Just coming through kind of a very final 100 meters over this race. I just started for around 12 years ago and some extra. Well, the reality delivered us into so much things like I never imagined. The conscience that I got as humanly around this world, but further the whole as my conscience as humanly around. I'm feeling really extenuated for the same struggled walking daily. Maybe certain class of precept stress and supposed being in a riot all over the streets for internation right now, you know. Um, well, as ever this just still happens, and as ever this still, while dealing, and while still just through everything every day. You know, I am conscious about, I'm conscious about my days, I'm conscious about what this are every day going through, and I'm conscious who is Adam, and who am I, is about him. I am not feeling so good, you know. I have been this last 3 days off of my possibilities to using my device because of my electrical administration were out of order. I mean, there is my device needing exactly the plug-in, the transforming the regular net electrical administration, which here is 220 volts into 19. So this device that I needed were broken. Suddenly I needed to buy a new one, and like you can checking it out. Until this day, still 4 more tabs were robbed off to me, to my chances to pick one or choose myself. And further that also, like I come to know, to be aware now and not by teller chap. 18 letters I never received. These 18 letters I never received came from the United States of America's government, from the International Court of Justice, from the Hague, from Chinebra, Swiss government, from United Nations, from International Criminal Court, Liaison Office, New York, from the state I belong with, government of Israel, from the government of Italy, not Vatican, from London, UK, government, and also from other friends, and I never received a thing. Everything was stolen by Policía Federal Argentina, Aníbal Fernández, like always done, telling that they has rights and they are patriotic, like the hell. While these days, I were without laptop, and you know what happened? The opportunism of the abominablest Policía Federal Argentina, Fuerzas Armadas Argentinas, expertises of Sodom and Gomorrah, vaginitis glancidis, forgive me, but it is exactly the picture, and are disgusting freaks. Taken this my laptop model, which is Acer Aspire. This is the 5736Z. And they just, after robbed for so long my softwares, my registers, my roaming BRMC scripting of the same software I got, my filers, my folders, my directory of root of the whole that I got in, and editing what they said had to be, to the showing up Guillermo Horacio Brain, pretender of pastor, to identify with each degenerados conscience, liars, criminals, psychopaths. 8 of this telling where the mine, for they do staging to coming inside my house, and while using this disgusting ones with title of evangelics, telling institutions of the Lord theirs, saying that everything is like this said. I had a very day yesterday. I had still the residuals of the tiredness and the destructions I received, for the simple reason I to be who I am and doing what I gotta do, which is not exactly what they says, telling that I were permanently sustaining a life with a lot of lies, manipulation, witchcraft, teller, chap, robbing to every one of them a car last that I designed myself with my software, robbed by Policía Federal Argentina, and I delivered this Sportive, first a Sava 4-wheel drive, and after an Sportive car, and really attractive, nice, prime pure lines in a very trials CAD software, which legals CAD delivered to ICC and to Israel and to US governments and United Nations. I done it, not them. And not only this, but even the justice parties, and really justice parties, with Ford, Renault, Citroën, Mercedes-Benz, General Motors, Cadillac, Detroit companies, all US, and also even Ferrari, Volkswagen, with a lot of problems and with the conflict of what it meant, and it is still Volkswagen, and the reality of the world, for what it were funded for, and like, with the burden of the whole that afforded every day to trying to give something good with not intentions for what I mean about that at all. At the suddenly clear resource of justice parties to showing up and comparing not only like witnesses but like cherry at the reality that I designed, not them, telling that I stolen them, and after that he cyanided me and he's a psychopath, now denies it. I paid him with a phallus. Forgive me the picture. It's every day. And like this, much other. And pretending to extortioning and threatening Israel, telling give us to us that right now because of we are gonna kill the whole of the Jewish population in Argentina. And in Brazil. And Amia. Because of they're to saying that they commands and gotta be dams. While the premeditation is they to kill us all if they can. And if they accomplish the purpose, what is their earning? Before I fight it, and I try to save what is already for murder. And what is right to cave in, I enjoy, I give you with my love. Israel, and I'm serious. With my whole love. You know, during this, pretended to come, and after we're all discovered, they're to saying, I robbed back the laptop and they didn't have it anymore. And during this, I just, whenever I could, just buy my supply that I needed so I can use this still, with no coins in my pocket except a promise and justice by Eladon that I'm gonna have because of anybody that try to help me gets murdered, and any time as I try to get something murders people and makes the worse even. You know what? Further this and with this, just coming through, I were last night here and I just slept here, and I had my bed clothes on, and suddenly there were the always making the same, and Eladon has given a response, and the response were justice. And through this, the obsessive degenerates keeps on raping while kidnapping people of my generation, and also keeps on making disasters all over, and also Jewish few, and keeps on celebrating, telling that they has rights to doing whatever they want. And you know what happened? Bachinitis, Policía Federal Argentina, Fuerzas Armadas, the partners of Cristina Fernández de Kirchner, pretender of expertises, abominable degeneration, Argentina, telling that I signated them a document where I would express clearly open in front of supposed Policía Federal Argentina and some public faith person for actuary of law, Argentina, called escribanos here. An expressed right given by myself of they could do with my life and my existence whatever they want, to profaning me as ever they wanted, my spirit, my existence and everything. And telling that they had right and were for the patriot that I will ever give them. And the payment will be 100 sessions of Sodoma, whatever I to pick or choose. And my mother will be the whore of them as well. And they will ever come permanently, and they will ever have rights to come to having sex, they says. Rape. I'm doing with my friends permanently. And suddenly in the middle of this all, today happened another thing. While Guillermo Horacio Brain were discovered making this to me intentionally, like always done, and insisting with I robbed him, and I robbed Carnival, and I robbed Evangelics, and I robbed everything I got, and there were everything truth, like they said, using any class of a damn disgusting camaraderie of brothels, using the name of the Christ, for which not even that is accepted. And oh, they deterred calling Mashiach for what they are and they do with the burden of victims. And in the middle of this reality, turned to saying that he denounced himself in person with Policía Federal Argentina and Zaffaroni and Aníbal Fernández and the Habtubu Atza, supposed of court 88 civil and 7th Defensory, where they has them employment, prostitution, mercaders, degenerates, devils like him, everyone. At the clear fact of said that he were feeling undermanaged by my persons, my presence, whatever he went through, that I had to remain under internation, that I had to be delivered into at least an examination for internation already agreed and arranged by Borda, Pinheiro Alvear, Churruca, Argerich. telling that I were dangerous and he were threatened by me. And I'm gonna put him dead by justice and with justice and the whole that are with it, making this still now. Intentionally understanding what they do consciously, what they want, what they seek, everything still on. All over. With more invention, for more the generation and less humanity, for I had what they says gotta be. And in the middle of this all happened that they kept on calling me the way they are, and they says I gotta be. And in the middle of this all also happened the reality that Cristina prostitution brothel Argentina, Fernandez de Kirchner, with its pedophilics, started making a new law of the generation of less humanity easy to handle and manipulate, while Sodoma, Policía Federal Argentina, Gendarmería Nacional, Prefectura Naval Argentina, Sida Metropolitana, will ever acting directly on this. So, anyone that will ever be under invention of supposed policial and judicial demons, because of his own invention, whoever to be a demon doesn't has judicial, goes directly to an hospital. Who has a justice, because in Argentina is less humanity, is market, especially me and mine. It happens in the world. By the end of this, prostitutas, desenfrenadas, patéticas, enfermas, psicópatas atrofiadas, Kirchners, oficialismo, and United Evangelics, with them Sodoma. So in the middle of this all, the reality is, so that certainly, so clear, hospitals will ever have the right duty yearly they themselves to corroborate the state of health of people, and if they will ever understand, while until the police chiefs to do what they gotta do, gotta remain under internation, they will make up more disgusting crap in a disgusting, lousy hospital guard. But 5 minutes or 10 or 20 talking to a person telling already expertise has shown us and said everything, and we already have the scores of this and the historic to me, so suddenly, because of that's what they says and that's what they dedicate, hysterectomy of whatever to be around. So at the reality of this day, the point of this is prostitutas y prostíbulos de lesa humanidad, mercaderes degenerados, keeps all over. And you know what happened in the middle of this all, while tellers Sodoma degenerados starts to saying that they are leading me and making me remember what we were about saying. There is my family still under the inductively besmirching, and I went through severe days that they don't even have no idea, and they won't until they do face-to-face reality. I hope not this class of hell, but suddenly to understand I'm real, and that's all. And at the point of this day, my family doesn't has idea, and there came this one that is called Emilio Bevilacqua, psychiatric. And you know what happened? That one says, living in a very small property with 2 small kids, making exercising of mental health, with robbed car, he lost it, and couldn't do no further, and we're about supposedly to come to my address to make a session. So suddenly in the middle of this all just delivered the attention into the telling, why don't you come to constituyentes, for you to get it, constituyentes, Avenue, almost General Paz Avenue intersection, Buenos Aires, right on the border of the capital city district. There is a coffee, there is a bar. Do you know the zone? Yes, I know it. I know where it is. I were there. a lot of times. And in the middle of this all just happened the reality of I just came with my mother. The supposed meeting 2 p.m. yesterday Friday. Rainy day, disgusting, annoyingly. I felt irascibly that I will destroy everything at my way and everyone. And in the middle of this all, just were there waiting, and I asked an herbs tea, and my mother just lima lemon or lima lemon soda. And in the herbs tea, I just drank the first ever Schlerik and a second Schlerik, and suddenly it just came like weirdly. And they're supposedly to be drugs, for I supposedly been again kidnapped, telling that I will ever need it. And even through, oh, they did, don't you see? He just iced himself, is the abstinence character of this. And while the generados, Guillermo Horacio Brain chasing me all over, to the making that the generations they normally do. For making up and delivering, they do to me. And I should pay what I supposedly robbed them. You know what happened? In the middle of this all, INTI plant, DXT, Argentina, Institution for Science and Technology of this prostitution, and the generational is right there, and started making the profanation, telling that they will ever have, and I will rob them, and I will claim right there for the reason of I will ever want to rob them technology. Perras enfermas, sorry the word. And in the middle of this whole saying that I will rob them and they will ever have first what all through the morning with the justice parties I were giving to International Criminal Court, already registered for the very Friday's morning. And in the middle of this all just going through in a very annoying day, and still I have a residual. Then, during this, we were waiting for an hour in that bar, and there were another, and whenever I got to that place, that were the one that I knew, which is a very neighborhood old place, which it is not recycled, not infrastructure, it is a simple bar around, very low resource, low infrastructure, where recurrently some people which can even hold some coins at the pocket to eat something around can cheaply come. So suddenly there were this new, and I said, oh well, should be here because of his percentage is tiny, but his percentage is clean, is so surely if he makes something is here. And one of the garçon, should I say that word, or shkatu, just came to the table and simply talking to my mother tells her, oh yes, I know the doctor comes here, but I never knew his name. Normally he comes here. You know what happened? This one never appeared. I called into a cell phone with the number that were line that never imagine will be that number online, except if there will be Telecentro or any company, which it is not the recurrent nets, telephonic nets as local around. And suddenly, while this cell phone I called on that wrong number, somebody said, oh, Ale. Hello, doctor, it's you. Hi. And 5 minutes trying to communicate with somebody that never were responsive at all. had to be a line number. But the situation were other. Then, in the middle of the soul, my mother calls him and were unresponsive. Nobody attended. And suddenly calls to my sister Graciela to call him. And to my mother he said the same. The little bar that is right near General Paz Avenue on Constituyentes or Constituyentes will be Constituyentes, not LL, sorry, Avenue intersection. And told to my sister Graciela after 1 hour there awaiting that he were awaiting us since 2 p.m. a half of an hour in the bar. And suddenly the bar were a very services station, gasoline services station, a very, we call parador place. And not the bar, which is a bar that he mentioned, never saying, oh, but you see the Walmart there? Well, there is a service station, gasoline selling, and there is this place that you can, no, he said bar, near Constituyentes, near General Paz. And suddenly behind came Sodoma Perras Sucias, Policía Federal Argentina, telling the family is deflective. The mother delivers, the sister doesn't know what happens, and he delivers all the time and thinks it were in that place. And he told him it were in the service station bar. And there is not a bar. There is a fast food and parador place. A Best Buy to launch something for whoever to goes to working, like taxi cab, like truckers, like anyone that goes all around in car, or whoever to be approached to find that place warm or simply comfortable to be around to go. Not a coffee shop and not a bar. But we are the business of the millennium. But Perra Sucia Sodoma Argentina turned to say still, acá se le hicieron. Murdered 84,000, and this is the number, 84,908 more persons for this last 3 days out of computer. And kidnapped in the whole of the region 1,804,208 more for massive rape and murder by Sodoma degenerados. And in the middle of the soul, Cristina Fernandez de Kirchner, prostitution of hell, kept on applauding with them pedophilics all. And each pedophilics officialism, degenerados, thuggy criminals, genociders, murderers, coins for lives. And while the soul, bastardos degenerados, Policía Federal Argentina, kept on making the preparing for, and keeps on murdering and destroying people all around. With 300 we do to it. And he still says and signated us documents for we to take in the pictures, and we already done them, and he will do exactly what we are doing. Oh, see, he signated us. The last pictures I just snapshotted with my Android that I just published, they said that they done first and I gave them 4. And also that it were porn settings in the Aramburu Plaza that they made and me there at the daylight. Having orals and having anals and having all groping grupal sex with Sodoma, Policía Federal Argentina, and Gendarmería Nacional. And the reality of the soul still with the same. With the whole porn in hand and telling, oh yes, of course they are specialists, they are expertises, how will they lie on this? Then perrazos degenerados Sodoma at the daylight in front of the whole of the people inside of a park, having sex with whom? Enfermedad degenerada Kirchner. Basura parla. Depravados infelices. Psicópatas. Melfochele klivisi veshpotla mefechel chalika revolfuach am bleche viskatat chalichim. Blefecho tafespata blechadishka machalechenim. And prostitutas piniero alvear borda opportunism making, expecting a chance to having some other coin and some position, making a read upon my life and much others. So the law for perras degeneradas Sodoma y perras prostitutas of them are still on, and the reality of this never ended, and never ended to be exactly the same. So the reality of this, helputuch mafechashi gelchamach lakivi. Blefechol fachal chalikimi. A blefechalechim. Then I'm gonna say this, and forgive me, the irascibly anger that I have been suffering these last days. Like you surely already know, we were through Oficialism Argentina and Sodoma Policía Federal Argentina Gendarmería Nacional are doing terrorism around the world, telling this gotta be done. We're seeking nuclear bombs in Germany, down Humboldt, Germany, and this Germany, which it is not the genocider, but the remaining of the abomination and remaining few Nazism, which is not all Germany, and is not Germany, actually. Nuclear bombs to making attempts against the States and United Nations. Yesterday we had a very hell of a day, and really risk, but Adonai were with us, and Adonai will keep to being with us, and I'm gonna keep on my duty. And every day is invariably worse to me here. And I couldn't get out today and were people under risk again. And I needed to leave, but I couldn't. Adonai is gonna do the job. And there's not only I suffering. So, I'm sorry for this, I'm gonna give you something. While the whole circus of the generation and abomination for words every day, at the abominable state dies like forever shala. Gel foach de vlechtiviskat chalefachale shechalim bet chamach lachum. Reo focholavet vechale shechale kivitza ba'an chalak. Rebol foch bots machale shechalik mechachaliki. Re shechalchim. En blijven gewoon met vlechtig machalim. Able weg mafachali shechan. Ibod lecha bat vlecha veshbachale chalikimi vechwatz bak tzashul. Reo focholatam met blijven chadiske met vlecha vechvula chaviti. Reshili. Rim met blijven cholacha bat bachali shechanam. עד לבלפה חובת המבלכת ישפך על חלקים מפחתי כוח בלפה רטו רוע לבלפה צפפות ועשך לשך מבלכת בקיצה בלכה ושל רעם לבחמות ולפחד בסקי התחדת רינן על למבות מותוח המבלפה חלים שוט גלת חבה בלפה חלת מצב ושבוח על בטחיני חמיתיק עלוות אשו עד בעת צקה לך ושך לקמות לומתיו חבל פועת המבלפה חשך חלקים מכינים. אינסו יש בטלפה פחל חלישך מהחלם רבו הפחל חלישך. שכתחות פלוטו כבר חלישמת חבל וחתו החדש בת לנו חמושון. ראו ולפחו לבת חבל וסבישך לקים מפחת השבוצו החל בטנג. ראו לבחו ולפחת וססי שקת חנין. אל רבתו הפכה לבטרדי בשקות רלחש של בחה תמה פלחכים. דריית פלחה ושבועת על הכוח ושערה רינמן צבות כוח ושבולת בלת שכן חליק רוע לבת בת ולפחו עשה לשבתיקה. לא קר לך בלתחמה בלחה ושכי שכמה חליק נסך לביצוע. Robal fechbele vesikas bachale hebele kina sechale shachanam. Drabol flechabat slevitzvech hive shachale boach matla deskibet ansecha shachala. Rebel fecheba spotumot flechadi shual tablaki shochalim. Al rebel bloch besechi shlatva andre necheli. Ad refoat halbesige shwat tuachmana taskat shachale dachi. Reovlo foat oblevechatish katam oblechatish shachlem. Schalato kopaswa shachalak mablachadi koach melavam. Trottel fechavat veshpacha chalishama fechal chalimechali veshpacha chalikimi. Trebot lecha veshpechali tzishiva kramet lechedishboach machalam. Roa tapsu espert abel vechadak chosasela noshontra etreboch matzela shefechachat asiv. Reyan machal veshwach alachilim. Rabotsuach aleveshechat. Rabotsuch belapatsuch mashach alikimi. Nitchebel afafat mableches veshmantam matlechadishachlam. Tchebel fesevechim. Ishkatl befechat sechal ishbot ruach alevesechal shachinim. In retivi foat oswachal ashmachidi. Rever foch velat sevechat tishkal. Remaflechet besichini shachinim. Beshefer chalat ruach veledik ishbat ramablechet ichidiga. Raul feshbach machlem. Chatzashu mat abtef. Raut blevet seveshachach molam sevetikisich achlinim. Remefech alishachawat amablechet ishachani. Befech achanim mesut. Chalabot was the livish ren anemets and chabak honaslu. Achasholam. Chabetzivik and chol. Baatcholoch was a seblat hat betren chanikishlatu. Ra amansa. Es gibt darauf Chalidi Sportler bebechal kamoblach da shechala hisecha amrana chulo. Abeolu. Rawad blefech balaviskatla shechala kibitlach masechali shalabi. Rebili va forma blecha taskia tamachal. Ashilokua chabalatzim. Refolochwat sabelfesiach ashlokwatsa chalemesivi. Treto batratiki va fechalishwach lekamablecha das katroch. Lingermatu. Schobak lechat bechadikishwo, halakemaflechadikishwat waplechadakishkut swama. Reni nishni nichlim. Rabal fechbato halvesa shevechini mekatapto swa chabalesh katrat chalaya. Revelafuach ma sachalishef. Tratich batrat shmotlofach boachalishech lamatu machaliki. Rabo atcha rawunum al ansh and berra tsot. Kpechquatsat blatzit atati shlu remma. Betrama blachadish katlecha vinusman. Chlevesichi. Sklet gewal vleggen we sishpot am blachati chala shachayde blik mofoach bashach hanamonam suav. Schlev tzwaf chala shachalim. Sorry, I am a little sleepy since a couple of hours ago. Chlebtu afachal bishbot om blecha vechalach hidish mod lamafat chalach asashot masim. Intchabot vlecha vespechalisha chvoat amachalach isichinish kach mimet. Ablefechat ushwas ablechti chemtoswat. Remachle atavishbot lekibit radat spot zualach nikibi. Rini ala shwas ablek atabacha. Rashu Schebelako fachaleveskat levesechi shelika rini Spetraplu afacholapta vesechi gishetlebat atuach bakwashu Rili veshef Ramavlech vesvoch lesechi nishan matzau Riba afachu schwarzleb Nichen Trebelevech bispatabel blechat eskur fachalachaleki machalekini Rabesha vachol vachalebetik v'shvat beblech tokwat splatadla Areminech lagu shvat blebechnik machalama Anshalamot Spot left Sleche biti, spötter man flecha wach, leben se versproch, lachamanem, ablevechadi gesproch, lachanimisi. Skolach boodschap weet ik snotsaag alleen is op de wat babat. Spokba vacha matle befechalisim. Skolach kabel fechale was spochaletim se befechalisim etzib. Sorry, forgive me please. Relivis wat sevele fishwoch ma pleche vesech ishua lama plefech atzmo solashum bat atsabat. Tretoa חבלבצי בשפת המבלך הצרכו, סולס בתחדיש של הרחה דיקשם עוצמת וקיקו, ריל, רוע, אבנץ ולכבש בחלי רוע ציבה, רנשקות רבלבלך תשקים את רחמות סואלם ציביקי, רושבות, אנדלתיק בשפות לבש עצור מרם, אינקת התחחי תשפט לבטחדי דסך בלודון שמות, רמרח שמחלביתי, שחלם. דן, Gebald tibeka, vergabele versie, gemafachaletieve se vergolema plachidiki. Gebald pechvotoa, kama plechvesich vitek. Gebald vergabele kama plechedish quatra bloch en zo, het is verlaban ganan, ringimini. Gebald vergabele vergeshechli, in mechetse. Gebedig, esarin. שכל ושך המחל כעצבו, רמיני חימיני שכל שרנקי, הרב על פוך רוח לבצחם מלאכת ישבח החלש מהחמוח התקיבי, הריבי. כספרה החמוץ על הגיבשך הבצק, החלי. ספחני שם בזה. Kabel befordert, blijf ik niet meer zeggen, ik zeg dat ik kies bij het leggen voor geslobat en te regelen, ik mag niet zeggen leggen. Rebel voor wat de bezetting gaat beschrijven, bevragen mag ik niet zeggen, ik kies wat iedereen te begelen getas. Ik blijf ik maar blijven beschrijven, ik spot en nachle muziek. Rebel voor wel vergis, we spot en blijven begelen, ik niet zeggen. Rebel voor wel ik kies wat en leggen me zeggen, leggen met hem. Rebel vergewelle vismotam machaleshech wa chabelekim bev. Sketrala krubons. Stlebech metik iselach vona shlim. Chabana spot kont chalishem. Belfochwa chalebetaska chaleshem. Chalebit. Rebel fochmat belfachat ishkat maflachat ishach chalichimi. Forgive me, please. Trebel verwoordt maflachat ishach abach. Sechlik mifachal ishvot maflachat ishach halinimi. Schot wachal wat was wel fachat ishkat la bechalibons was belakishkat la chamatik. In rebel fochal cheshmachlim. Tchmod lach veshvachal vitzchid vishachal auchmata belfacham. Spot leeft ramel tegen spot op de plek die zeggen met leggen die skibitin zeggen en blijven gewoon zwaar aan met ze loren wel wel gaan met ze verschil gaan we gaan met leggen die gedien is beter geleerd squat ramel blijven gewoon ze blijven die skibi en bad met gaan zo galam trouwel blijven spelen met zeggen spot om maar gaan de kile kibach ראש בלפח מלבלחת הסקפ לבסך שלואם הרע לבוחו בלבסך בשקת חלפה חלקי של הבצו החמוך עלי נשכם על חבלפחת ישפוח על החדי גבה שחתי כשפעת את חלביקי מיכי חבלפוחו לבסמת לבסך נשגל למרחם Oh my god, sorry Srlevefar alchit shebelech maflecha dishpocha la kemachalevecha tachala remablecha de besochwat la maflecha tekeshul nuba namachalik veswat tabak arrelo taplevisvat tabafech lishocha la plefrato amatchat bedzik dishkat khanachalach motzimini khablavech tekeshul votzvo غابل بخبل فخبت السخل شخخل كي نفخبل فوخبت أسش أنخل خمم دات ساخوا غشو تبلا بس بطم بلخدي الشخل كي متسبوت مش منام دن خرد بلا فسبخ خيلي فسبخ مبلخ وسبل بلخدي كي شكر خبتك كي خلي مسخلي تشبطم خبل فخبل كي بسبوت وخلي الشخ مبلخن تخلي كي مين أنت خم بلا فخلي الشخ خبال خمت لبسخ الشور خلي بي غاد سبل فوتم بلا خدشكات أم بلا غاخي غاشلو تغم بلا خبسخ الشوخلم أسبت لبس مطري فخليش مداخ بلكي خدشكا خبخ لونو سوانا بخليكي شكلت خبل فخليكي فسفش بطم بلا خديكوا خبل بسفش با تبا خلخين بسخليكي خبل الشوخ ملم خبل بخدي سخوش ما تبل بخديك شخا ما خليك بستي شكلت لما تخين خاب مش بتخوا فخلي داخ وما توا مش فخل. That is the reality every day. Then the problems is what we had. تخبل باخوات البلا فخديش كي تخمل بلا خليك مطلخوا سخد لدخ هذا بالشفا تماخ ملكي غم بلا فخوات بلا بسكات سخل بطروخ جبلتي بش بطا بلا خنا كسلخوا غولابي وتبلسكوا غبلشيلي ما تبلفوخ بطاكلاسي روماندي كفش بدوخ بالك باخلش بخم ماتسو لفخو خلوش بخم مخلك نسرخي. Alright. خبولابسي بس بطم بلخة تسكبل بخلي خيسيا خلاخ مفر خلي شيخ مبلخ بطسوخ بلفي خي تسكبل بخة تسو خليم يخلي شيخ خاي مفر خليم. So, God, Jonathan, Eyal, Ofra, Sarit, Efrat, Aya, Nate, Liran, Boaz, Moshe, Ben, Jonathan, Shem, Gilberto, Moshe, Mr. President, Alai, Matt, Celine, Barbara, Michael, Olivia, Beth, Demi, Linda, Natalie, Gwyneth, Jennifer's, John's, Ben's, Ben, Bruce, Justin, Belge Belgidi, Madonna Tony's, Gervlug Watgali, Eros, Laura, Alejandro. Belvegediskel gemach Galibi, Tsai Shechli, Yorona Chansanders, Yorona Elkers, Yorona Chahem, Yorona Alkav, Yorona Edmund, Mr. President. Sachlevet Roav Levisipeti, Messachali Shechna Chalok Machan. Misbat Labafachali Shechama Kachli, BT Shechli. Trebel Foch, Levis Metzavis Pechali, Sichli Mekiva Schwachali, Hida, Revesh Nachalim, Echabot Fochali Shecha, that's it. And I am in everyday destruction and temperature, and the torture is insufferable. And my mother is insufferable, and I don't bear her anymore. And she is a tool for the generates, not like she consciously would, or will be for. And I know she's a victim, but suddenly I don't bear her anymore. Neither this family. Thank you, Hasi. Protect yourself from tellers sodomalagenerados, please. And the reality that I came for 3 weeks asking something which my sister herself offered me. I have this justice bodies for the making certain products, manufacturing certain products that I didn't do. for the reason of infrastructure, time, or as ever we were dealing with. So suddenly I own a microphone that I cut the capsules for the making a multiple one, and I don't have the body for yet. Robberies and limitations for the showing my capacity. That they said, oh, we done first, of course. And suddenly other thing, like my mother offered me a tool for manufacture bags and others sewing. So suddenly, oh, the liars thinks he's gonna sewing with a sewing machine and also to making morrales rolia. And also, we already have here, all he's thinking about it doing the designing. Make it you first, for they to say we done first and it's ours and he steals to us. So we come at the house and take everything, of course. And about thinking how to making some flex cases for tablets, laptops, and this morrales, which are the Persky. You understand, in the popular in New York, called Persky. There are like purses, but they are flat for youth, men's, teenagers to using, crossing by with a very holder old blech hat. So suddenly the vleffig moet lebes vegeli sech met blech die gis ganim me vegelein. The vleffig is vagelinim. That I will join some money, that they will say I will rob the products and nobody to buy me. And I wouldn't be no possible capable for nothing less to making such a thing. So my God, for I to join at least $1,500 and get the hell out of this lousy damn land and forever. And making up in a class of other generation for that not to happen. Not for the clean, not for the clear, and not for the possibility I don't live, even if I would ever be at the possibility this to do. And there's two sayings still they are, and there's no God, and nothing like me, like Israel knows me and I still am forever. And the world as well. Shalom. I am the one I am and ever were and will always be. At this Saturday, November 22nd, 2014, this 1958 already, in this lousy hell Buenos Aires with the burden of afforded victims and innocents. And not reality that I don't bear no more. But I'm gonna be patient in front of my home, somehow and afforded for, and doing my job. I am Alejandro BLANCO REDEMI, and I said you this. https www.OROODXTDRMC 131888844348 middle secreto de sumario, secreto de estadio, not the estado, de estadio, like the simplicity one R I O, middle secreto de Crisa, this is CRUISSA, middle secreto presidencial argentino, middle RDEDXTDF1319 BMT 4844438 DXTDRMC 139 middle BRE 384 middle CIS middle KELA. This is KELLAH 119.20 OS recall in F7. Last play this is in New York, last key and cleaner my side, and even https www DMDWNDRMC middle Pizca de Locos middle La Perra Va a Morir middle DRMCT. Pizca, like the word in Spanish. BMTD middle FF4 FF9, FF3, DDTRMC, F7.90, F1 like before. Here is a lot of more. Forgive me please, today I am feeling terrible. And I don't know how it's gonna be forwarding my days from now on. Adonai is gonna do the job and I'm gonna fight it. 20:01 already, Buenos Aires, local hour. At this 22nd November 2014. Alejandro by BLANCO.